Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Nier Reincarnation, let's do a guide to team building for the Abyss Tower. This will be for new players who want to go through the tower, collect a lot of gems in order to pull the gacha. This is going to be a kind of a modified version of my Fate Boards team building guide video. Fate Boards are essentially higher floors of the tower, so a lot of what applies there can apply to Abyss Towers as well. If you were to use, Fate board teams in Abyss Tower, it might be overkill, too easy. But yeah, maybe this guide could be helpful to folks who are working in Tower and then maybe looking forward to Fate boards in the future. Alright, but the way that I will have the tables structured, I will show kind of the best costumes here on this first slide, and then we'll look at things by element, where the costumes will be less necessary. But there will be some weapons in there as well to look at. But yeah, basically, if you can use maybe like 2 costumes from this first slide, a healer, and then an attack breaker, and then in the third slot, just put in a strong attacker, that should get you through most of Tower. Okay, but first row here, we have healers that come from the banner. And then a lot of these we can exchange for with the current countdown stuff. 5 pulls reach the ceiling. The first character I would recommend everybody get is that celebratory F66X there. We can also see her in the attack break row, so she's got roll compression. She's doing 2 things at once. With just her, we can really lower the difficulty of Abyss Tower and Fate Boards overall. I call her a good investment because she will pay for herself very quickly. Excellent weapon as well. And then we have Christmas Gale. She can also give you healing for your party, and then some damage mitigation barriers. If she has a water weapon, I highly recommend that water spear in the lower right to max out Dark Memory Argo, and then put that on Christmas Gale, and then bring her into any element. You will get the set poison damage, which ignores defense. That can get you very stable clears of both Abyss Tower and Fate Boards. Next we have Abstract Hina, who is in the standard pool, so we won't be able to exchange for her through that countdown thing. But if you can get her, definitely use her. She has a heal and a revive, and her weapon is one of the best for this kind of PvE content. Another standard pool character we have is Bloody Akeha. Might be a little bit difficult to get at this point, but her too, excellent weapon. And then we have a bunch of healers who do not have roll compression really, but some are Sadhu and then a couple of versions of F66X. You can certainly use them until you get celebratory F66X. Alright, then we have a row of healers that are free. Either we can exchange for them or we can unlock them. But first, we have Dark Memory 10H, and then she's kind of like my #1 recommendation for everyone to unlock first. She has great stories, of course, but her costume is really good with a party regen. And then there is Festive Leon. We can exchange for him now in the current anniversary event. Not quite as good as 10H, but very grateful to have him as a easy-to-get exchange character. And his weapon has a party heal on it, too. And then the other event exchange healer is Celebratory Priet. And then we have a couple more Dark Memory healers in Sadhu and Leon. I still recommend 10H more, but they are both great choices. And then we have a couple of lower rarity healers, 3-star F66X or 2-star 10H. Again, they could be usable until you get some of the better healers. Alright, and then we have a bunch of costumes with attack breaks. With attack breaks, we can lower the damage output of enemy bosses and stuff. And that can be the difference between getting the clear or not. I really recommend the first 3 here, F66X, Summer Yuri, and Celebratory Demus, more than the others, because with F66X again, we have the roll compression. With the next 2, we have an attack break and a defense buff for the party. So that's kind of defense on 2 fronts. And then all the rest, Celebratory Griff, Abstract Akeha, and then a 3-star Yuri or Argo. They have attack breaks only, often for lower percentages, but still very usable. Okay, and then 4th row, This is not for everyone, it depends on your playstyle, but you could use the burn or poison method, where you build your team just to be as tanky as possible, just to take all of the enemy attacks, and then do kind of set damage, which ignores defense, using either burn or poison. And then I have a few costumes here that have burn or poison on their character skills, and I have some weapons, which can also do the burn or poison. If you were to use one or possibly two of these together, then that could get you a stable clear of floors of the tower. The Fire Greatsword there is from Dark Memory Akaha. Max out that weapon. The Water Spear is from Argo. Max out that weapon. And then the Dark Element Gun. That's the only Dark Element weapon with either burn or poison. So that could be useful in like versus light content. That is available in the exchange from the 3-star Demas. Okay, and then finally, last row, we have a bunch of debris. This is all defensive stuff. Maybe with a new account, we won't have a lot of selection, but whatever you got that will raise HP or defense would be usable. And then on the left, I have an elemental resistance debris. This can be helpful to put on to people that are using, burn or poison weapons in quests where they don't get the element advantage, where they don't get the damage cut. This debris could help you make up for that. Okay, next let's go by element. Let's look at water, costumes, and weapons to use versus fire. For costumes, I have a few attackers, like Marie, Griff, or Sanafa, and then I have a few sort of like other sort of defensive guys that are maybe not as good as the first slide, but again, you could use them if you had them. But like Nier 063Y or the Abstract Priet. And then for weapons, I have 3 categories. Weapons that give you haste, again, that's that cooldown haste where you can get skills out more quickly. These are usable as either primary or secondary weapons. And then we have attack breaks. These are also pretty important. You want to aim for 30% attack breaks for 30 seconds or more. There's not a ton of weapons with these, but if you had them, definitely make use of them. Oh, and I went through these charts from my previous Fateboard team building video, and I got rid of all of the collaboration stuff. So like Sino Alice or like Yorha stage play. Just because they're probably not going to be available between now and then the end of the game. But I'm afraid that short sword, that water short sword, is from the, the Persona collaboration. So that's not available, sadly. And then third row there are weapons with party heals. These are also very useful. The best weapons, I think, are the water spear there. We see has both an attack break and a party heal. And then also that staff. It also has an attack break, although it's not in that slot. If you can get like both of these or 2 of one of them, that would be almost ideal. And then on the third weapon, you could use either burn or poison, or just use a top tier attacker. Okay, next, wind costumes and weapons versus water. Under costumes, we have Marie on the far left and then Fio on the far right. They are healers. Fio is only good as a healer in versus water, with a wind weapon as the primary. But if that situation ever came up, you could certainly use her. And then for attackers, we can use Abstract Udil, Dark Memory Griff, or the Abyssal Saryu. And we have a bunch of weapons with cooldown haste, or attack break, or healing. The gun there is excellent, because it has all 3 of what we're looking for in a weapon. And then under spears with haste, and staves with healing, I have a couple of 3-star options. The staff is an exchange from a 3-star version of Sanafa, and then the staff is in the pool. If you just pull the gacha enough, that will come out, I'm sure. Okay, and then we have fire costumes and weapons versus wind. Under costumes, we have just kind of all-around tanky Marie there. We have attackers in Udil and Yuri and Fio, and then a healer in F66X, but it's a lower heal than the other versions. And we have some haste weapons, and we have some attack breaks, and we have some healing. Not as many attack breaks or healing in fire element weapons. But that staff from Celebratory F66X, that has both the attack break and the healing. So yeah, if you can get 2 of those, that might be ideal there. Alright, and then we have dark element stuff versus light. We have attackers in Christmas Lars. And then we have Divine Udil, who can give your party the Dauntless. This can help you get through, like one-hit KO attacks. Abstract Demus has a blind on his character skill, which can maybe also help you avoid attacks. Summer F66X has the Compromise ability, which could prevent certain bosses from, for example, putting regen on them. That could be the difference between a clear or not. We have Bloody Noel, who's just generally tanky, and then Dark Memory Lavanya. All of the Dark Memory characters, they have a elemental resistance, but that can help their survivability. Oh, and I also removed all of the RD costumes from this list, because that's going to be a very high hurdle to unlock before the end of the game, I think. Okay, and then we have some weapons with the cooldown haste, we got some attack break, and then we got some healing. Unfortunately, I think there's only one dark element weapon which has both the attack break and the healing, and that is from a collaboration. That's the gun from Yorha Griff. I highly regret not getting that, and I kind of struggled versus light the most because I didn't have that gun. But for tower, I think these weapons here will be good enough. Alright, and then finally we have light costumes and weapons versus dark. Under costumes, I have Bloody Griff. He has a provoke. He can draw like single target attacks to himself, protect your other party members. There's Abstract Leon, who has an attack break, but it's only for 20%. And then we have Celebratory Sarafa, top tier attacker, and then Dark Memory Fio. She has a lot of like tanky stats, and then also a self-heal. So especially for quests where you want to complete the mission to use a fist user, she's a great choice. But I should say that your top priority going through Tower is just to clear as many floors as you can in order to get the clear gems. You can worry about the missions later, because we're going to get more gems for clearing floors than we are clearing missions in the end. Okay, then we have some weapons with the cooldown haste, we got weapons with the attack break, and then weapons with the healing. Here, again, we have the short sword from Abstract Hina, and then the great sword from Bloody Akeha. Both of those have 2 of what we're looking for. Actually, I think the short sword from Abstract Hina also has the haste, so that's an excellent weapon. If we can get 2 of one of these, or 1 of each, that would really help our versus dark clears. Okay, that'll do it for the team building guide for Abyss Towers. Good luck with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.